Hi, I just got back from walking around the hotel. So I'm just gonna post another crap video, I guess. Because I'm not dressed, I'm not in shape or anything. I just kind of like to get my whole body in these. It was hard to get a camera stand a long time ago. I think they were, I don't know, more expensive. I didn't have as much money to spare, but I think oh yeah, they didn't work good, and I had different cameras and stuff. So here's this. I think most well-to-do kids today would be able to afford a camera. Maybe their dads were in the military. I don't know. So I'm just kind of starting this, and I just thought of two things that I want to write on the internet. So I was told, sort of, that I should write about memories from when I was like under 5 years old, under 3 years old, things like that. So there's a lot of things I want to do. I'm mostly worried about posting online now, I guess. I have to remember when to eat. I have to remember how to check different lists on my computer and what lists to put up. And then something else I wanted to post was watching that video of Petra Müllejans over and over. So I'd watch it for like 2 hours every night since maybe 2019 at least, or 20, until 2023. So it's 2 years, I think. So when I moved to East Cleveland, to the second group home, especially, I used to already see things, but this was a great experience, but it did end somehow. Like someone was just walking their dog down here, and I was surveying my door to see about someday ordering a Disney maybe paper first to hang on my hotel room door, and I was like surveying the door, and I remembered imagining, like when I watched it, I kept seeing like a little kind of Dalmatian, maybe without spots, like a cartoon. I could probably try to start drawing what I felt I saw in 2D, but like it was like there was something where the dog was like just a puppy and was, I guess this was like her mom kind of, or something, or around that generation. Maybe it was her, I don't know. Well, then that would be your daughter, and that would be a real person, and she'd be younger. So anyway, it was just a puppy, I guess, from around her mom's time, or like her like surveying like a long wooden plank or whatever they're called, or the long blocks. Like it was part of a house. It was pretty tall. It was light, and it was like in the middle of a forest without any mountains nearby. Maybe there's a little lake nearby. And it was like looking like this, and and maybe it was thinking about, maybe there were a few other things, kind of like those Noah's Ark things. And I was thinking about making a house, I guess, to have, a family with puppies. And most of what I saw when I watched it was puppies. I was the biggest fan of 101 Dalmatians and Lucky. And then I went on to being a fan of Cad Pig. I like Oddball. I don't have any sketches up of Cad Pig. I know what Cad Pig is like in the book because I fast forwarded to all of it. And I used to think of Dalmatians a lot. I had the merchandise, like books and stuff. Not everything. I didn't get to find everything, but anyway. So yeah, that was what the Dalmatian was doing. But then it was something like a male Dalmatian came up, but was kind of a dork. But it was cool. And it was cooler in a way, but not really. And so I forgot exactly what it did at the moment. It reminds me of something else, but it was like saying, oh yeah, I remember now. It was it was its this female Dalmatian son. It was also a puppy. It was more modern though. Like maybe it was born around 1970 or something, 72. Who knows? 68, and it had its own puppies to take care of. So this wasn't like today, 2025, whatever it is. But so it was like really, it was like so upset. Like I think it was something similar to the feeling of, it wasn't anything about death, but kind of like nailing a coffin, closing the door, or something like that on whatever that puppy did that isn't today. and everything was it for this Dalmatian's puppy. And they were more like silhouettes and all white. So, very typical, and I thought of it a few times, and it just made me really sad, and I was excited, but for some reason I think the puppy just got tired, and the next puppy was more organized and had to not be gay, and it was already in a house, and it was because its mom raised it. And this generation, which does have German roots or whatever, like most of Europe, or all of Europe, would be, it was kind of like they all hate their moms originally. And I guess they do things for their kids, but after all their moms do for them, they come out and say it's shit all the time. That's the story of my life, and I was mature. So I could definitely talk about that endlessly. But that was part of life. That wasn't a special experience. It was my family. Everyone had a family and a choice. You could have followed it, but you would say something like, oh, I didn't think of it because my mom wasn't like Chinese, but not a weird Chinese who makes the kids Chinese or something. So that's what I saw then. And there's a lot of stories, so I'll just go ahead and talk about my favorite one. So after all this watching for years, every night, and not saying anything about it online until later, my favorite, I'll go ahead and say what happened first. This one isn't very interesting to me, but first it was about setting, like there was a house, like a normal house. It was nice. It wasn't too weird or anything. And it was like setting a table, and maybe there was like a bench sort of against the wall. So it was like, so it's always about being touched, maybe not sex. So, but it's about being touched by adults or having sex with your age, I guess. And then, or maybe having kids. I don't know about kids, but, so it was like, maybe, I guess it was hers kind of, and she was sitting there, and then, so I didn't really want to be a teenager because that was bad, I guess. And so it was like, there was one good image, but it turned out to be her daughter in the end, more mature, but it didn't really look like us. But it was like a kind of like with the Little Miss Muffet hat that I know about, and the kind of, but a kid, but like kind of probably shorter than me, but long torso, and the dress that would go with it. Maybe it's kind of some kind of more full colored pastel. So the funny thing about this was, I found out that their goal was maybe on purpose that their kids would still be kids when they got older. And the thing about sitting next to her was, oh yeah, she put her arm around me after this whole time. And, so it meant something. And I kept trying to think about it. I kept not being able to think about it. But anyway, my favorite part was at the end. It was like I thought of a huge bank. Maybe it was more like Germany, and she's a violinist, and so it was a bank, and she was running into it with her two briefcases or whatever you would call them, something like luggage a long time ago, and like hurrying up the steps to the building. And she was a psychology person or something, so she's going in to do her business, and the bags were her business. The suitcases, big suitcase, kind of thick suitcases, were her business. They were either brown or gray or black, probably brown or gray. And then the whole scene kind of felt gray mostly. And she ran into the building, and it was about, the whole business was about the psychology of what was wrong with her. I don't know, maybe you'll get it. You can say lots of things about this and make up lots of ideas from there. So the best part after that for me was, obviously that's not me, because that's not my generation. And so then she came home, and then there was this kitchen. It was like she came in, and so I think she held her arms out like this, and then she probably crouched over like this, and so I was like seeing myself as like I was still like, or me as a version, maybe older and younger, older times and newer times too in some ways, but maybe more like if I was too, but like I was that little, and like I was supposed to, like it was something like, the funny part is you think about the whole thing of her in business, and then she comes home, and it's like this is it, the whole thing or whatever. And then it's like I'm supposed to run to her, and then I didn't, and then it was too late, and I couldn't imagine anything else, and I couldn't do it again. And it was like a lot of things that I watched. And it was like if I could have done it, it would have been okay. I thought of it again. I tried to think of it, and I couldn't think of it. And that's the end of that whole clip. This was her most attractive one. I don't know if there were that many. Yeah, there were others. And it was taken down. And ended on me thinking of her mom. So, yeah, they're from Germany, so they're German. And they're from, not a weird place, so anyway, it was a good German place. I don't know if people from America are from there, but not all of them. But you guys can be from around anywhere, even though all the German cities are from South, East Germany, which did say the area that's called Bavaria or whatever. I can't say it. So anyway, and then there was other things too, but I can talk about them later. I guess. So I wonder if there was anything else really important. There was another good one I can think of. There were lots of good ones, but most of them are kind of it's not annoying, but it's kind of like masturbating and stuff. Masturbation dreams, which I wouldn't like. And what I would say about that is the cartoons made me masturbate. It would happen by accident, actually. I don't know about most people. But I wasn't even doing anything, so it's kind of not fair. But, I was, but it was actually about something touching you. It wasn't a rocking horse. And it was way before puberty, and I used to imagine strange things, kind of like a boy before I became a tomboy, so I guess that helped, but it's kind of weird. But then I used to have these huge, elaborate fantasies when I was more in line to be an artist, maybe before choir, but I was still singing, so so yeah, those are so that was leading up to my favorite one was that the whole world was gonna be okay, nothing weird about dying or being tortured, and then it was all about me being a kid and like being at home, and then the mom comes home or whatever, and that's how that is. So hope you can kind of see the picture, because I used to see these things and I was too afraid kind of to post it online because I didn't know what happened. I know she wanted me to. I didn't even know. It was supposedly that she did it, but I think it was supposedly that I would think of something from whatever she's thought of. I can see it happening kind of now, but yeah, that was very strange to me. So I had to live my life and grow up, and from what I did, it was pretty much how I react to every new kid, but I haven't seen many kids. And I already was around kids with my younger brother when I went to preschool and his preschool, and I saw the other kids and I knew them kind of, well, mostly I saw them at school and stuff, and so I knew about it from him. And I knew about kids between our ages. Of course, I know about the younger ones. Most of them look too skinny and small now. I know there's attractive ones. I don't see them, So everything I did was sort of set, and then all this stuff pops up, but it's not like that. But I know about their generation and how they don't know, that I don't have it or something. So I was sort of, I wanted to copy their generation, but I wasn't good enough, and I didn't know that. So I would say it would be mostly about women born in the mid-50s to the mid-60s or whatever, or maybe 1970s for me. And yeah, so don't go into the 80s, because I'm born in 1986. And then it would be for the men. I'm not a man, so it was mostly about the age of my dad, so it sort of didn't really have a style. But I found the ones with younger dads were actually okay with the ones with younger moms, I think. But I mostly would know about someone with much younger parents, not just the baby boomers. So I preferred to be popular and blonde, I might just say. I guess that's what I would say about that. And popular and blonde, born in the mid-80s, good idea. And then, there's the younger ones, too, that are blonde, so that's probably even better for most of them. But my age is probably a little more wild, if you're from, a beach culture, from Florida, or modern beach culture, which could be everything. Except I'd rather go to Europe. And, New Orleans, and, I'd rather know about New York City and the other places too. So I'd say the whole up north is kind of like New York City. I went to New York City. About the things I saw, I was just telling you, that lady, the orchestra she's in actually came a second time. I think it was 2 years later though. And I actually went, and I have a picture with the piano. She didn't come this time, but I think she's come other times, and times I didn't know about, and I auditioned to go there, and I kind of didn't make it. So I also asked if I could sing just to make sure, and then they asked me for a sample, so I just sent one actually. I was actually just checking. So yeah, I got to see the orchestra. That's the only time I went to New York City, and I'm not saying I am jealous and want Ellen more or anything, but I went to see Ellen DeGeneres in Los Angeles, and I got a ticket to see it twice. And the first time she came up the aisle, unfortunately I was overweight, and I tried to look good, but I was wearing a wig, I think, both times, and a hat, maybe even one time, I don't know. It was a blonde wig, a platinum blonde or something. I don't know, I think you're supposed to look good when you go there. It was pretty easy to get there, but I didn't get there right away. But it was so amazing, actually. Unfortunately, I think she looked at me when I was ugly, but it kind of makes me sad about what she looks like now. Because all the ladies aren't, worse like that. I just know people made an excuse. I don't know what happened. I guess, She changes. Anyway, she's more intellectual now, but it was amazing. I don't know if I've seen anything else, but yeah, the orchestra was amazing to go to as well. I didn't see the one I liked, the lady I was telling you about, so I don't know what to say about that. I'm already popular, but I'm not the one you would seek out for the, like, Johnny Depp or something. And I'm not the one, like, who's like Joni either, so but anyway, as far as which one, it's a lot of work to do any of that. I don't know, I think you could easily do any of that. So, bye for now.